day, Fayetteville police officers interact with residents while responding to calls for service such as reports of robbery, traffic accidents, or just talking with residents. In 2015 alone, Fayetteville police officers logged more than 263,000 calls for service. An invaluable resource in determining what occurred during a police officer's interaction with the public is impartial video of the incident.
Several years ago, when we brought on mobile video cameras, the dash cams in the cars, it really lent in a great way to a reduction in complaints from our citizens, and I think it helped our officers improve their interactions with our citizens.
In 2015, the Department of Justice awarded the Fayetteville Police Department a matching grant of $530,000 to purchase body cameras for the police officers who interact with the public. The cameras are a component of the police department's Glass Door initiative to promote transparency and accountability and to address the wide variety of the community's concerns.
I think what we're going to see is that our interactions, our police officers' interactions with our citizens are going to continue to be very professional, very high level, and very courteous. But I also think it's going to help us with a level of trust where when someone has a complaint, we're able to review that interaction with a citizen and make sure that we're doing the right things in training our officers to ensure that their interactions with our public are even better, more professional.
Central to the success of the program are the partnerships the Fayetteville Police Department has developed with the Department of Justice, the District Attorney's Office, and the community.
I think the partnership with the Department of Justice, who was good enough to give us the grant and have the ability to equip all of our officers at one time. That is important to us and our relationship with them, and also being able to report back what we learned from it. The partnership with the community, as you know, we spent a lot of time with groups across our city developing our policies and procedures, and the input that we received from the community has been invaluable in helping us craft our policy. It also has given us some things to think about as we continue to develop the way we use the body cameras. And I think our partnership then with our district attorney and the judges is going to be very helpful, again, by being able to provide some of those interactions with them.
We have developed a system here where we're going to be able to provide the body cameras to defense counsel when the law requires us to do so, and of course the system here where we'll have those body cameras preserved in the cases that they pertain to in both our district court and our superior court. So we do have a system in place, and the reason we have that system in place is because, again, the police department has been great collaborating with us since day one about this.
Another partnership is with the ACLU, who want to make sure that the policies developed by the police department protect citizens' constitutional rights.
They're concerned on people's right to privacy versus just having everything out in the open so that anyone can see anything anytime. So there's a variety of partnerships that we're engaged with as we develop this, as we implement it, and as we move forward.
This project,
the first step in the implementation of body-worn cameras was to meet with representatives from the District Attorney's Office, the City of Fayetteville's Human Resources Department, community faith-based leaders, and essential staff with the Fayetteville Police Department.
Part of the agreement we had with the granting agency was that we would go out into the community and the faith-based leaders in our community would have a say, or at least be a part of us developing our policies and procedures as they relate to body-worn cameras. So we had 3 individual meetings with community leaders where they got to give us input as to how they wanted that wording, when we would record, when we would not record, things like that. We also met with church leaders, faith-based community, and we met with our district attorney's office to help develop our policies. So we also utilized policies from other agencies as guidelines and templates as to what they were doing, what worked, what didn't work.
A second key step was to then host community meetings to demonstrate to the public the cameras and their capabilities.
I knew coming into this, I wanted to know if they were using the visor or the chest, because the chest has a lot of limitations for video in bad circumstances. So I was glad to see they've got the visor one, and I think it's a really good thing. I think it's good for the police officers. I think it's good for the community. I think it's a win-win, and they discussed it to where you understand it that way tonight.
The platform we purchased offers several different mounting options that are available. They can wear it on their lapel, they can wear it on their collar. It comes with a round clasp with some magnets. We have a headband that they can wear where it's mounted on the side of their head, and depending upon what style of sunglasses they wear, we can have a clip to where they'll mount it to their sunglasses.
At the top right here, you have a master on-off switch.
After meeting with residents and gathering input from community leaders and partners in the Glassdoor initiative, a policy was created that governed the use of the cameras, and training began for police officers.
Once we had a policy in place, we began a training program, and it was very time-consuming to, we just don't give you a camera and send you out on the street. We had to train 300 police officers on the use of the camera, how to activate it, when to activate it, how to upload the information, and then with the supervisory staff on when to review and how to periodically check for issues with our officers and their behavior.
What we're looking for, just random samples of interactions from different officers with our public. And what we're trying to do is make sure that the officers are courteous, they're professional, they're doing the right things. We're looking for things that the officers may not be doing safely. Maybe the way they perhaps the way they approach a car on a traffic stop, maybe their driving habits, maybe the way that they approach a potentially dangerous call. All of those things we will document, and then we'll offer specific training to that officer, but then we're also going to develop training for all of our officers to ensure that we're doing the right things all the time.
Every incident captured on a camera is then categorized by the officer, which sets how long the video will be retained.
They categorize that video according to what they're investigating or not investigating at the time. And based off of what they categorize the video, when they upload the video to our server, when they upload the video to our cloud, based off of what they categorize that video as is how long the video is retained. So if you have something that's a felony and they've actually captured it on video, that's retained at a much longer time than something would just be a mere encounter with a citizen. So the officers have been trained on how to upload it. They've been trained on how to categorize it and what to categorize it as. They've also been trained on how to maintain their system.
Cameras, whether it is dashboard camera or body camera, have had an effect in reducing the number of complaints by providing an impartial recording of what happened during a citizen encounter, but also by encouraging good behavior.
I would say majority of the people, though, once they do realize that I am wearing it, that it's definitely a deterrent for them to want to behave inappropriately. Just like it is for officers. You know, it goes both ways.
In some cases, video footage from the cameras have been useful and effective as evidence.
One of the questions of defense attorneys is, well, was my client cooperative? Can you re-elaborate on what their behavior was or what they actually did and explain probable cause? So having this on you, going to trial and being able to explain X, Y, Z, and MCA watch the film, you'll see it all clear as day. I mean, it'll definitely assist with prosecuting.
I think they'll be useful in a lot of cases. However, the two that come to mind are domestic violence and homicide cases. In domestic violence, an officer shows up, and a lot of times the violence has just occurred or is still occurring, and some of the injuries you're going to be able to see there on that body camera. And some of those injuries, bruising, redness, even bleeding, when the case goes to trial, a couple of weeks or months down the road, pictures sometimes don't do it justice, or we may not have pictures, and I think those are going to be some cases where the body cameras are very helpful. I also think that in some of our more serious cases, like our homicide cases, a lot of times the first witness that we put on the stand is the first officer to arrive. And he goes into that scene, and you're going to be seeing what he sees. If you've got a deceased victim there with injuries, as he or she is looking at that victim, you're going to be able to see that with the body camera. And I think for the jury, it's really going to be able to help them identify with the crime, see what the officer was seeing, and will be helpful to us in proving our case.
At the end of the day, the body cameras are not a magic wand that will solve every problem. It is just one part of a larger program that the Fayetteville Police Department has implemented to improve transparency and build community trust.
The recorders are just that. They're not behavior changers. They're simply recorders of behavior, both of our police officers, but also of the city, the citizens that we come in contact with. And so I worry every night. I worry every day that our city is safe, that our police officers are safe, that we're doing the right things by our citizens every day and every night.